We have breaking news. Let's get right to it.
Past 24 hours, we've seen 34 new cases of COVID-19 here in Utah.
Following breaking news out of Utah, a magnitude 5.7 earthquake hitting just after 7 a.m. local time, about 10 miles west of Salt Lake City.
You need 100 to 150,000 tests a day.
Yeah. Welcome back to Iso20 Podcast, or Iso20 if you want to keep it short. I go by the name of Dre, the number one Chief Rocker. Drerawka for short, Dre, whatever you want to call me Andre. I know some of my friends been getting on my case about some of my aliases. Shout out to Justin and Angel of the Other Side of the Beehive podcast. I really do hope that you're having the day that you deserve. I think overall this week overall in podcast world and the world of news and the world of social media, in the world, I guess you can just say in the world, we have seen a heightened content around injustice, around the treatment of black and other minorities within the United States of America. So it's no different that I feel like I don't even feel like I need to say anything, being a black man in this nation where we have continued to see injustice, where I have been a victim of injustice, of discrimination, of so much. I say it's only right that I do it, or that I have to do it. I don't have to. I live it. I live it daily. So I don't feel like I have to. I feel like I want to. And I think that's me taking the power from people saying, oh, you have to speak out, or oh, you have to do this. I really don't. And I feel like, and this is just my opinion, that if you are a person of color, or you are somebody that is being truly affected by the result of injustice, I feel like you should tell your story, but it's not a have to. It's not a must thing. But it's a lot going on, and I've kind of held off. This has been my personal thoughts, and today's podcast is going to be a little bit different. I'm sitting at home, and I have a lot on my mind, and I figured out I want to talk to you guys without any format. I don't have news. I don't have no sports. Well, I do have some sports, but I wanted to keep this straight and direct. First, I want to thank everyone that has a voice that is speaking out against injustice on Americans, and specifically on Black lives. Thank you. It takes a lot. It takes a lot for you to stand up and say enough is enough, to stand up and say I don't agree with this, right? It's no different from somebody in a corporate world speaking out against somebody above them, right? They have that thought in their mind. Well, in most cases, they have that thought in their mind that they will be retaliated upon, right? That thought is always in the back of my mind. That thought is always there for the people that speak up, and I think it's valid. And real quick, shout out to the YouTube gang. I got to get up and I got to open this window. I'm not gonna lie. There's something probably going on right outside my window, and I want to make sure that everything is straight. Okay. Sorry about that. Yes. So it's hard to come out and speak out. It's hard to say I don't believe in this, or I'm going to say this, or I'm going to do this, right? Because it goes against the grain. And I was not necessarily hesitant on putting out content. I just didn't feel like it was the right time to put out my own content. There was the Blackout Tuesday that happened, and you're gonna either way you look at it, if you look at it like why aren't you posting something? Why aren't you posting more information for people about your cause, right? Just putting a black square on your Instagram account or on your Facebook or whatever that is. It doesn't. What difference is that making? And to me, I feel like it's a solidarity thing. It's showing that, okay, this person is riding with the cause. Let me check out their page. Let me see what's going on in their story. What information can I educate myself on? And so when people are doing that, most recently, a Utah, well, I don't even think she's from Utah. She lived here for a minute, but a very popular fitness person, CrossFit person, Brooke Ince, I think it's Ince. She's been posting on her story like Black Lives Matter. I'm about this, and somebody called her out and was like, Brooke, look on your feed. There is not one person of color on your Instagram feed at all. And totally just went after her. And in my mind, I'm like, Brooke is somebody that has a bunch of endorsement deals. She's on TV. And for her to come out and say, look, I'm educating myself. I don't know everything. I don't know the total history on injustice in the United States for black people. I don't know this stuff. But for her to say, look, I'm using my platform and I'm putting information out there, positive information. I'm educating myself while doing it. And I'm happy to have the dialogue. That makes me happy. And that's who I'm saying thank you to. I'm saying thank you to the people that may not understand, that may have never had anybody that they've come into contact with go through this, that everything that we're going through daily. For her to come out and say, look, I don't understand it, but I'm going to try to understand what's going on. And she's giving herself education, right? And I'm doing the same. I'm not up on every legal law. I'm not up on anything. Like growing up, my dad always told me, like, if you get pulled over by the police, make sure your hands are visible, pull up your sleeves and put them on the dash and keep them there or keep them up on the steering wheel and listen to commands. Don't fight. Don't fight. And I've been in situations where, and I'm sorry if this is all over the place. Again, this is straight off the cuff. I have no notes, no nothing. I'm giving you guys where my mind's at right now. So I just wanted to say thank you to those people that I guess you call them allies or whatever, allies. And, you know, it comes down to actions as well. You can say all you want and stuff like that. You can, even to the people that are out there protesting, that are marching, thank you. Thank you for doing that. But even then, you can march, go down the street and march. And then what? And then, like, what actions are you taking, right? What are you educating yourself on? Do you know the laws? Like, do you know how to vote? Can you vote, right? Something as simple as not having an up-to-date ID, you cannot vote. These are small, minor things that people forget about, right? Say, I mean, you can get registered right now. Our elections start, primary elections start on the 30th in Utah, right? Say your birthday is this month. Say you have the wrong address on your ID. You can't register to vote. If you're not registered to vote already, you cannot, right? And these are just small things like this. I feel like if you can educate yourself real quick, there's not a whole lot of effort that goes into learning something, in my opinion, at least. But I feel that if you really want to try to make a change or, you know, make things better, just try to learn something. And I'm trying to lead by example by doing that. So if you look on my IG story, you'll see that I'm posting different things like where to vote, right? Where to vote, where to donate. Because that's another big thing, is that a bunch of these civil rights platforms and groups, they need some type of funding, and nobody's just going to give them money, right? in order for them to put on marches and put on different events to bring awareness and even help bail out people that are being detained uncivilly. Like, that's not, they need some type of money to get a lawyer, right? Not just a public defender, but to get a good lawyer that can actually fight the injustice, right? Things like that. So you'll see me post where to donate, how to get involved, even down to I've learned of more Black-owned businesses within my own community. Yeah, I know a few of them because, sorry, drink of water. I know a few of them because a few of them are my friends, right? And like this right here, Cash Valley MMA, right? Or I'm sorry, mixed martial arts, like fitness. My man Kofi, and I'm a YouTube gang. You can see my hat right now. I'm wearing this hat. It's a Black-owned business. It's a Black-owned gym, and so just building awareness. I bought this hat, and he asked if I wanted it for free and stuff, and I was like, no, I want to support. And how do I support? By, buying a hat. I might not go to a gym. I'm not into jujitsu and stuff like that. I am, but I'm not. Eventually, I'll get there. I just don't feel like right now, health-wise, it would be smart just with my back, and I would want to keep up, and if I'm rolling with somebody my size, like, they're gonna manhandle me, right? So eventually I would get there, but because I'm not taking a class or anything like that, how else can I support? I could support by donations or buying a product and supporting it, and that's another form of support, right? Is awareness, getting it out there. So supporting Black businesses and making sure that you, in conjunction with, right? Like, I'm not saying you have to go out there and be 100% Black owned, Black everything, but I'm saying, if you have the opportunity to, you should. If you're really down to help and just try to be the difference, I guess. I feel like that's another way that you can do it. What else been happening that I wanted to get off my chest? I guess overall the protests. So in Utah, protests around America really got heavy about a week ago Saturday. And here in Utah, thousands showed up downtown Utah in Salt Lake City. And there was one in Ogden, and I believe there was one in like St. George or Moab or something like that. And there's not a lot of Black people here in Utah. Like, there's really not. There's not. So Saturday comes and I'm working. Like, I'm working on a project with my brother and another individual, and like, I'm getting texts. My phone's is blowing up. They're like, "Yo, are you downtown?" And I'm like, "No, what's going on?" And so I look, and before that they were protesting, right? So it was all civil, it was all calm and shit, and people were, have their signs, and it was cool. And this was at the police building downtown. And then when I'm up and I'm working and stuff, I get, and my office or the studio is in North Salt Lake, so it's like 5 minutes driving from where the protest was, maybe 7 minutes. Not far at all. And I get blown up and I got hit up, and it's like, yo, there's graffiti, they are bashing windows, they're tipping over cars, which come to find out, I think it was only one cop car at the time, and then homeboy with the bow and arrow. It's not funny. I don't laugh to say ha of the situation, but a guy with a bow and arrow, his car got flipped over. That made national news. The dude with the bow and arrow, he actually just got he's facing 3 counts of 3 different felonies. I think it was like deadly or a deadly weapon on a restricted person, and then I think assault was another one, and something else. But he's facing three different felonies, and he's a convicted felon already. So yeah, That's wild. So yeah, I see. Then I look on my phone and I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at the I think it was Fox 13's live on Facebook. So I'm checking it out. I'm like, damn, like it's going down. It's going down downtown. And you know, while I don't condone violence, and I don't know how you. It's very hypocritical, right? Because I love watching MMA, right? I love that, but I feel like it's a different type of violence. It's a civil type of violence, whatever. But yeah, just violence on the street where people are getting punched in the face because of their views and their beliefs, and you know, I understand it though. As weird as that sounds, and as awful as that sounds, maybe to some, I understand. There's people out there that have been hurting. People that have been hurting, that are down and maybe not in there. You got to think about where the nation's at right now. Not the nation, the world. The United States, in Utah alone, we have over 100,000 people that are unemployed. So think about that. Think about being unemployed. And some have been unemployed since March, right? So we're talking weeks, months at this point. People are being unemployed. Some people, you might be saying, well, they get the extra $600 bonus on unemployment. Some people aren't. And some people don't qualify for unemployment. Some people are, small business owners. However that looks, some people don't qualify for this shit, right? So think about that. Think about COVID-19. People now have high anxiety. People have high anxiety. Now they're facing depression. And not only are they facing depression, they're looking on the news and they're seeing the people that are supposed to protect you killing Americans, killing Black Americans. That's another one right there. That's another emotion. That's anger at that point. You're sad, you're angry, you have anxiety, now you have depression. That person needs to scream. I see hundreds of people going downtown to scream. I'm going to go and scream with them. I'm speaking hypothetically. This is not me. Not me. I'm speaking hypothetically. I'm speaking about that person that's going through all this. So that person's going through all this. They see an outlet now. They see that, okay, I have a way to get my feelings out there. I have like-minded people out there with me. That's where chaos starts. I think that's where chaos starts, and people, they say, you know, I've had enough. You know, I've had enough of this. I'm mad. And my voice hasn't been heard. I've been protesting for the past 10 years, and nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. What's the next step? Now I need to throw something. I need to break something. Oh, you guys are turning over that car? Let me get over there and turn over that car too. Oh, you're trying to pull a bow and arrow on me or somebody else that has the same views as me? We're fucking you up. And we're going to turn over your car too. I can understand where that pain and that hurt will make you that angry to go down there and break something or loot something. I don't condone looting. I don't condone violence against anyone. I don't condone that. But I understand it. It's tough. It's tough. And then you got the person that has been blessed to continue to have a job, have an income, but they see what's wrong. They see that George Floyd's death was wrong. They see the injustice that the officer was not arrested. They may have been fired or relieved of their duties, but there was no justice there. They weren't tried in the court of law. Now that person's like, this is wrong. This is wrong, and I need to do something about it. How do I do that? There's a protest going down. I have something to say. I want to stand in solidarity with these people. So they go downtown And they have their sign, right? BLM, Black Lives Matter, right? Woo, Black Lives Matter. No justice, no peace, right? They're chanting. They're letting their voice be heard. That same pain, that same anger is there, but they're handling it differently. They're handling it peacefully by marching, hands up, don't shoot. I understand that too. I get where that person's coming from. It's tough. It's tough. And then you got the police officers. Now we have the police. We have the police that took an oath to protect and serve our community or your community, wherever you're living. And now they see one of their own murder on TV, and some are not happy about it. Some talk against that. Some speak out against it. That was not right. He needs to be tried. They need to be tried in the court of law. But now I have to go downtown and I have to protect our building. I have to protect other citizens from the looters, from the protesters that are aggressive protesters. I have to make sure that there's some type of order in my community. But these people don't know. You're in a uniform. You all look the same, right? You're in a uniform, and you have to defend your brothers and sisters in blue too. It's tough. It's tough. It is a tough situation. And thank you. Thank you to the police that are good. And when I say good, everybody's gonna have a bad day. I have a bad day at work all the time. I do. I make mistakes all the time. Not too much because, I'm pretty good at my job. And I make mistakes on this podcast. I make mistakes in life. I make mistakes as a father, right? I make mistakes as a husband. I make mistakes cooking. I burn my food sometimes, right? And police officers will continue to make mistakes, but they cannot be at the risk of somebody's life. I don't think that's right. So we need to relook at it. What happens if this does? Because it's going to happen again. I hate to say it. I hate to be that person, and I don't want to be that person, but it's going to happen again. Unfortunately. Fortunately, we're right now, we're in a day and time where there's a bunch of awareness, right? A bunch of, everywhere you look, you go any social media, you go out in the world. I've been going, so every time I go out now, it's always looks, right? And I'm not looking for pity. My blackness is not a pity. My blackness is not a weakness. My blackness is nothing but honor. My blackness is loyal. My blackness is strong. Did I already say strong? It's strong. And not strong in the sense of I'm better than, but strong in the sense of I'm going to be all right. I'm going to make it through. I'm going to make it through. Like, no matter what you could throw at me in this world, in life, I've been beaten down. Like, if I was to really give you guys my story, you guys, I think you guys would be surprised. And when I say you guys, I'm talking about people that aren't like me. I think you'd be surprised. I've faced a lot of stuff in my life, and I don't need pity. I don't need that expression of like, oh, that's a good one. Nah, I don't need that. And that's what I've been getting. I've been getting that look. Now, granted, white folk has been really nice to me lately, and I love it. Like, when I'm going into Maverick, I'm not being watched. I'm not being followed. And I love it. Oh, it's the greatest thing ever. Not to go into a store and not be followed. Yeah, I went into Smith's and they gave me a cart. Like, I didn't even have to go get my own cart. They gave me a cart, all sanitized and everything. They were doing it for everybody, but I felt special. I felt real special. I don't know what else to say. You know, I don't want to, you know, I feel like, and here's another thing. As far as like social media with content creators, people that are creating content, right? Whether if you are somebody that posts your jokes, or you are a chef that posts your dishes, or if you're a model that takes pictures of yourself, or if you're a podcaster that podcasts, you may have that feeling like I did, where I'm like, I create a lot of stuff and I don't post it right away. So I have episodes and stuff that are scheduled, right? That get scheduled to go out. And this last week I had a lot of content that was supposed to drop, but it didn't feel right to me. And I was telling my wife, I was like, you know, I don't want to take away from the message that is being spread, which is Black Lives Matter. Justice matters. George Floyd mattered. I didn't want to take away from that. And, you know, a couple days passed and I finally was like, you know what? Like, a lot of people are looking for an escape. And this was the way that I was feeling. Not an escape to say, okay, I'm off it or I'm done with it. Because like I mentioned, I'm black. I can't outrun this. It's simple. Like I can't outrun this. I can't forget about this. I can't have it in the back of my mind that I may be treated differently because of the color of my skin. So when I'm telling myself this, I'm like, I need a release, right? Some of the channels that I follow on YouTube, some of the podcasters that I follow, I'm finding an outlet there. I find something to be joyful about or learn about, right? And so I figured somebody might be looking for the same thing for me. Somebody might be saying, "Damn, why hasn't Dre dropped anything cool?" Or whatever it is that I dropped that you might be appealed to, right? So I told myself, don't worry about it. They can't take your feelings away. They can't take your intentions away. So release your content. Release your content. Get it out there. Hopefully it can make somebody's day better. Right? That's why I always say, I hope you have the day you deserve. Because if you're looking for what you're looking for, I hope you get it. Okay? Yeah. I hope content creators don't feel like they can't post. Feel free to, if you want to continue to post and get more information out there for people. Big shout out to Erocalypse, who's and Frankie and Jess on ZHT. They are telling people where to donate, what's going on. They're not just going on to the next fucking sleazy fucking thing, right? So thank you. DB and Hooker and what's her name? Becca on the Rock Station. We're talking about this. They have a podcast too. You should check it out. It's Hooker, DB, and Becca 1067 or 1069 or something like that. But even them, it's a rock station. You're probably not going to hear any black artists on this station. But they're using their platform to say this was wrong. And, we need justice. We're tired of injustice, right? So yeah, content creators, people that are even TikTokers, like continue to TikTok, continue to dance your ass off, continue to do these things, because your little light, as long as it's coming from a genuine place and you're keeping it tasteful, you're going to shine, and you're going to shine on some people. You're going to make their day. I can't tell you how often I get, and salute to my homeboy Sione for sending me funny videos. He sends me funny videos all the time, and he's like, yo, have you checked this out? Yo, check this out. And it's just funny content, and it's good to laugh during a time where there is so much, I don't want to say negativity. I don't want to say anything other than there is so much seriousness. Boom. I think I'll say that. There's so much seriousness going on right now. And to the brands, to any brand that is cutting ties with people that are standing in solidarity and letting it be known that Black lives do matter and we need justice in America for all. If you are one of those brands that are cutting ties because people are backing what they believe in on the positive side, I'm sorry. That's not right. In my opinion. Now, if they're coming out and they're saying, you know, why does Black people matter more than anyone else? They got the wrong message. They got the wrong message, because that's not at all what's been told. We don't have to educate you. And when I say we, I'm talking about people of color. You should educate yourself. I'm tired of people that see Black Lives Matter taking it to a place of it downgrading somebody else's life. It doesn't mean that. It does not mean that. It means Black Lives Matter as well. And we need justice as well. We need to feel safe. We need to feel confident in certain situations. And we need to feel that same privilege. So if you're a brand that is doing that, you know, I'm sorry for you. And honestly, you stick to your guns, because that means we're not welcome there, and that means we don't need to support that brand or that product. Now, to all the brands, companies, what other entity? All entities that are supporting and understands that Black Lives Matter is not a us versus you thing. It's a we need this too thing. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm really, it made me so happy to go down my timeline and see certain brands, even local brands. And I'm not going to say any names here, but certain brands that I associate myself with and that ride with me, for them to come out and say, we're standing with Black Lives Matter. We're standing because we understand and we're learning and we're trying to grow as one. And if as one means that only a piece of us is being treated the same, that's not right. Thank you for calling that out. Thank you for standing up. And we are going to echo it. We are going to shout from the tops, thank you. I was put in a situation before. I'm not going to say that. I should probably do it like a Patreon type of thing. I don't know. I don't know if we're there yet. I'll say that for a different pod, I guess. But yeah. I having the platform I do, I'm always going to give somebody a voice that others may say, why are you giving that person a voice, right? It's because they have a story to tell too. I can learn a lot from everyone. I think the day that I'm like, why I'm not going to have that person come on my podcast or anything like that is like, who am I to do that? Who am I to say I'm not going to learn nothing from you? You go back, you look at all my unrestricted, you go back, you look at Flight 89, you look at any podcast that I've done, I feel like I've learned something from the person that's sitting on the other side of me. And hopefully you did too. Hopefully, you know, if there's a certain exterior that you're like, whoa, like this person shouldn't be on here. And then you get to know that person from the conversation that we have. Hopefully that gives you another outlook or a different outlook on, I guess, yourself on judging. Because I feel like majority of people judge before they get to know, right? But, yeah, I'm rambling, I guess. Trying to think. What else? Weight loss. So, I guess we could put a cap on, on the topic that I just brought up. And, you know, if you want to talk about it with me, let me know. Reach out to me. Let me know. It's a conversation that is uncomfortable to most. I ain't gonna say to most. To some, it's not a. I don't feel uncomfortable about it because at the end of the day, I think that we can speak facts about systemic racism in America. We can speak facts on experiences, right? And we can speak on opinions. And just because your opinion might differ from mine doesn't mean that I hate you or that I don't want to have that conversation. Maybe I can learn something. Maybe your opinion opens my mind up to something. And I'm open to that. So if you want to have that conversation, let me know. I'm down. But yeah, weight loss. I haven't weighed in this week, and I didn't weigh in last week either. I've been eating well. I'm not gonna lie though. I gotta tell on myself. I did have Papa John's pizza on Saturday. Yes, I know he's a racist. Yes, I know pizza's bad for me. Oh, I'm disappointed in myself. I didn't buy the pizza. It was in my house, and I just seen it. I just got home from DJing, and that's another bad thing, is that I was DJing until 1 o'clock, so I didn't get home until about 1:32, and so I was eating pizza at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it was only 2 slices, but still. Ooh, but it was the buffalo one that was so fire. But yeah, so I'll be weighing in probably this weekend. Ooh, maybe not, because I got a barbecue. I'm going over to KJ's house for a barbecue because KJ's about to turn 42. Salute to my brother KJ. Make sure to go put it in his comments. Go hit him up. Tell him happy birthday. Yeah, so Saturday. Let's jump back. Let's rewind. Saturday, it was my first night back at a bar named Sue, 8136 South State Street. First of all, let me tell you what. I can't speak enough about a bar named Sue. Like, the staff, everybody, Tyson, everybody over there is great. I ain't gonna lie, there was a couple of people that are like, I don't know if I like you, but they're not there no more. So I guess that's telling, right? But yeah, so Tyson hits me up. I don't even know if I should be saying his name, but fuck it. But yeah, he hits me up. He's like, hey, are you available? I'm like, for what? Like, pause. Because I do a lot. Like, I do graphics for him. I do pictures for him. KJ does the website. You know, do you need help? What do you need help? I DJ, right? There's a lot of stuff that I do to help him out, and vice versa. And so he's like, are you down to come and DJ, because we're getting back into the swing of things. I was like, yeah, of course. He's like, okay. I didn't want to assume, because, people out here with the COVID are kind of, it's kind of touch, hit and miss with it. Either people are really defensive over it, or they're really okay with it. Like, they're ready to move on and live their life. And I'm one of those, I'm ready to move on and live my life, with caution, right? Continue to wash my hands, continue to wash my clothes when I get home, take a shower and everything like that, right? And so I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And she's like, all right, UFC 250, come through. So I get there, and I get there early because he had to modify the bar and being guidance of 6 feet, right? Social distancing. So there's no bar. Like, you cannot sit at the bar. You have to go sit at a table. And so some of the tables he had to put up on the stage where I'm usually set up at. So we had to modify that and stuff. So I got there a little bit early, and he helped me up with some table arrangements and stuff like that. And so I do that, and I get done with that about 2:00, and then me and the family come back, and we do some errands, run some errands and stuff like that. I had to go and get some new records, so I'll go over to Guitar Center over in Taylorsville, and I pull up, and I tell my girl, I was like, yo, if there's a line, because most stores you have to, there's only a limited amount of people that can go inside the store. So I told my lady, I was like, yo, if there is a line, I am not going in there. Fuck it, I'm not going in there. If my system skips a lot, I'm just gonna deal with it. That's what I told him. So we get there, and sure enough, the line is around the damn building, almost to the back of the Guitar Center. So I'm like, fuck, all right, I'm do without records. So we run some more errands and stuff, and so I go back to a bar named Sue now, and I'm set up and everything like that. Thank God the records worked, and the needle worked. And actually, I had a new record in there that I bought before. I haven't DJ'd since March, right? And DJing is my second income. That's how I pay most of the extracurricular type stuff that I do, whether if that's buying equipment for the studio or paying rent for the studio, things like that. So it's been kind of tough, right? Not having that second income. But yeah, so I get in there and watching the prelims and stuff like that, and staff that I haven't seen in a long time are coming up, and we're talking and stuff, and it's just a good time. And then fights are good. Man, let me tell you, this card was good. O'Malley had the rainbow hair. He had the rainbow straight backs in support of Pride Month. Oh yeah, salute to all my Pride Month people, the LGBTQ community. Salute to y'all, and thank you guys for marching with us. I've seen so many Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ support flags and signs, and the LGBTQ community supports Black Lives Matter. Like, so much love, and I love to see that. I love to see that. And they're fighting for their own rights. They're fighting for I shouldn't say their own rights, because I feel like in 2020, if you don't have a friend or a family member from that community, that's weird to me. Growing up in Portland, we seen it. It was normal. Growing up, it was normal. It wasn't nothing that was like, ooh, they're gay, or ooh, those two guys are over there kissing, or ooh, those two girls are holding hands. Like, it was nothing like that. And they were extra flamboyant too. Like, in my neighborhood, it was regular. Like, one of my best friends, he was my brother. Like, my brother, Antoine, you know what's up, is gay. And it was no, second thought or second nature. So to see people be, I guess, homophobic in 2020, it's weird to me. It's weird to me because it's so normal. I don't get it. I don't get why there's not certain rights for LGBTQ people. And maybe I'm not saying this the right way. Maybe I'm saying this insensitively. I don't know. But what I do know is that, the people out there fighting for those rights, the people that are really working towards, a better life for that community, I salute you. And I stand with you. I'm about the rights, and I'm about you loving who you love and all that good stuff too. So yeah, UFC 250 was lit. Cody Garbrandt, man, this man was one of the best walk-off KOs I've ever seen. It was literally at the buzzer. It was like a beep, like he hit him and then the damn buzzer went off. It was nuts. It was crazy. And laid him out. He didn't get on top of him. It was a boom and I'm walking off. He knew it was done. Same thing with O'Malley. Except O'Malley, that's a bad man. I didn't really like Cody Garbrandt at first. And then he got humbled. I think that loss to TJ Dillashaw, I think that humbled him a lot. I think it got him into a place where he was like, I need to do better. He got humbled. He became a father. And I think that's another thing. Becoming a parent, I think humbles you so much. I think it humbles you a lot. And so I'm kind of a no-love fan now. A Cody Garbrandt. Cody no love. Maybe it should be all love now. Garbrandt. Kind of a fan of him. And then, my homegirl Felicia Spencer got her ass whooped. I like Amanda Nunes. Don't get me wrong. I like her. She defended both championships. She has made her mark in history as one of the greatest fighters. Fuck the sex, man, woman. One of the greatest fighters of all time. She's a GOAT. She did something that nobody else has done before. And she did it in superb fashion. Just, I would have really liked to see Felicia Spencer win. She's such a humble humble woman. And hopefully she'll get her chance again. I don't see Amanda Nunes being in the sport much longer. I think she's going to retire. I think she's going to Cejudo us. I think she's going to Cejudo us and bounce. Sterling looked good too. Oh my gosh. Like, it was such a good card. It was a great card. And if you have not watched it, definitely go back and watch the replay or something. Conor McGregor retired for the 4th time. He said, all right, man, I'm out of here. I am done. I have won. I have lost. I have hugged my mom. I am out. That was a horrible accent. I feel bad for anybody that takes Conor McGregor serious, because Conor is a fighter. Conor, he doesn't have to fight. He's a multi-millionaire. He definitely does not have to fight. His Proper 12 whiskey is a top-selling whiskey around the world, not just the United States, but the world. And I feel once you have fighting in your heart, I don't see you giving that up. So I really don't think he's done, but we'll see. I don't know if he's just going to go to boxing, because he's been talking about boxing, and that boxing bag is crazy big, which I don't understand. Maybe somebody can break that down for me, how boxing is still outpaying mixed martial arts. Because I feel that mixed martial arts is more popular, and I don't want to disrespect boxing like that, because I am a boxing fan, but I really do feel like MMA or the UFC as a brand alone is bigger than, I might eat my words. I feel like the UFC is a bigger brand, popularity-wise, maybe not money-wise, but popularity-wise, than any boxing promotion. Golden Boy, Mayweather, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I lean more to MMA. Maybe that might be it. Boxing fans might be killing me in the comments right now. I don't know. But it's crazy, because you got boxers that are getting paid millions, and then you got MMA fighters that are known that aren't even getting close to $500,000. So it's nuts. And then you see guys like Masvidal, you see John Jones, I even think GSP, a bunch of other fighters have always been like, we need more money. We need more money. We need more money. We need a percentage or something. And right now, I think the UFC gives them, I think, 18%, 12 to 18%. But they can't even wear brands. They can't get sponsors like into the ring like they used to. Like in that Reebok deal is what really did that. I wonder if Reebok's going to speak about CrossFit, how CrossFit came out and was like making fun of Black Lives Matter. I don't know. The homegirl Brooke did though. Yeah. UFC, good fights. Dana White kind of danced around the question about protests and a question about Black Lives Matter. I don't know why. I don't think he understood the question, but at the same time, I am kind of surprised that we haven't seen the UFC come out in support of at least their black athletes, because there's a lot of black athletes, a lot of athletes of color in general. So, yeah, the NBA is supposed to be coming back at the end of the month. While I think it's cool, I think it will cause more pain for some of the athletes. Because, and the reason why I say this is because I think we're looking at our athletes like LeBron's vocal right now, right? He's vocal because Fox News, I forget the reporter, it was a double standard, right? She treated LeBron, the same anchor, remember homegirl told him to shut up and dribble, pretty much, right? Remember that? Came out, it was like real supportive over Drew Brees. And Drew Brees' whole fucking, I won't disrespect the flag like that. Saying that Colin Kaepernick was disrespecting the flag. When, if you're really educated on it, you know that it was about injustice and police brutality. It had nothing to do with our great servicemen and women. So I think that it will cause more stress for our players in the NBA, because while they are vocal on Twitter and they're vocal on social media and they're vocal in the streets, shout out to Damian Lillard out there in the streets, Amon Shepard out there in the streets protesting, all those players. Now, when they get bunkered down in Disneyland, are they going to be cut off from the world? Right? How is that going to look? Are they going to be able to speak their mind during this? Man, in the NFL, man. With the NFL are so fucking hypocritical. They're hypocrites. While I understand that they came out and they were like, yo, we got it wrong and we apologize. You couldn't have done that before? I don't know, man. It's tough. I think that's going to be the name of this episode today is It's Tough. I understand a lot of people's views. Let me close out on this. This will be the conclusion of today's podcast. We hit almost an hour, so I'm going to call it a day. But in conclusion, I understand a lot of people's views. I understand the person who feels bad but doesn't know what to say. I understand the person that is too scared to stand up and say something. I understand the person that is angry, that wants to fuck the city up. I understand that person. I understand the police officers that want to do a good job. I understand the police officers that are scared as well. I understand the officers that are scared to speak up and speak out. I understand. When you're dealing with a powerful force like the police, there's so much they can do. There's a lot of power there. I understand the lawmakers that are scared to lose an election for standing up for what's right. I don't know how that happens. I don't know how standing up for somebody or something that is right makes you scared or threatened to lose whatever it is, whether if it's a position, whether if it's money, right? I don't understand how that is a thing. But I know it's reality. I know and I understand that me posting this podcast, while my views are 100% my views, I understand that some brands won't mess with me. I understand that some people will delete me. Some people will unsubscribe. Some people will post it somewhere else and be like, look at this moron. I understand that. But I'm not gonna not say something. I'm not gonna not give my opinion. Because, like I said, I'm black 24/7. I'm mixed at that. My dad's black, my mom is Mexican. So, you see how Mexicans are treated. I deal with that too. I deal with that in a way of my family, my friends, my own self. I can't get away from who I am, right? The only thing I can do is continue to educate myself, right? Educate myself, teach my kids right from wrong. And when I say right from wrong, what is right to me is standing up for what you believe in. What is right to me is treating everyone the same. What is right to me is supporting what you really believe in. What's right to me is doing it peacefully. And what is right to me is understanding. Try to understand. Try to see somebody else's point of view. Even in your relationships, right? In my relationship, I try to look at what my ladies look, what her view is. Same thing with my kids. If the baby's a baby, the world spins around the baby. The baby's always right. Dad's always wrong. Mom's always wrong. Brother's always wrong. But for my oldest son, I try to see where he's coming from. And sometimes he gets me. I'm like, all right, you win. I get where you're coming from. I understand what you're talking about. Right? Yeah. I hope this episode was not too heavy. I tried to not keep it heavy, but I definitely wanted to give you guys my opinion, my thoughts on the world right now. And I just hope that everybody continues to have the day they deserve. And thank you. Thank you so much to all the supporters out there that continue to support. The donations, thank you. I can't say enough about the donations. Oh my gosh. I really need to, I'm going to put something together really, really cool for the donators out there. Because I think you deserve it. The same way I bought this hat is the same thing I want to do for you guys. So I will be getting some merch here soon. My goal is by the end of summer. Just because of the way COVID is and stuff like that, I think summer is a realistic, end of summer is a realistic goal. Maybe going into winter, close out the year with some fire-ass merch. And, oh, wait, I wanted to conclude, but there's something else that just popped into my head. I had some people reach out to me and said, I wish I could do what you do. And I was like, well, why not? And there was a lot of excuses, right? And I just want to I just wanted to amplify that you can do, this is going to sound super cliche and corny, but you can do anything you want to. Anything you want to put your mind to, you can do it. If you want to start a podcast, start your podcast. It's not hard. A lot of people have a smartphone. Yes, starting out, your quality may not be the best quality out there, but nothing is, right? If you go back to Nike's first running sneaker, their first cross trainer, it's nowhere where it is today. Technology changes, budgets get bigger, and people learn from the mistakes that they do the first time. Once you get there, though, it'll be satisfying, and it gives you time to build that audience, to build that community, right? So, for the people that say, I wish I could do what you do, you can. It's on you. If you want to do it, you can do it. If you want to start a YouTube channel, start it. You can do it. Learn from your previous work and grow. You can do it. And learn it. If you're like, well, I don't know how to edit audio, learn it. It's not hard. Everything that I am doing now, I do by myself. The audio, the visual, the promotion, everything that goes in between. And the way I was able to do that was learning, right? I was using at first on my videos, I was using a program that wasn't necessarily it wasn't the standard, right? The industry standard. It wasn't something like that. But aside from that, it wasn't something that I could get 100% creative with. So my brother KJ told me, Dre, you need to get on Premiere. You need to get on Premiere. And he kept on pushing it to me. Get on Premiere. And I got on Premiere. And he taught me, pretty much the basics. And then my mind just went over it. Like, how do I do this? Or how do I do that? And all it is a Google search or a YouTube search. How do I do this? How do I make this longer? How do I pause? How do I, change this or whatever? I learned that. And now I learned to the point where I feel like my stuff looks good, at least good enough to get compliments on, right? And thank you for all the compliments. And that's one less thing I don't have to pay somebody for. So I feel like if you want to do it, you can do it and learn it. And just take the time. It doesn't take much time to learn something. If you want to learn a program, just YouTube search it, save it, put it in a folder, and now you have that to do a step-by-step thing. It might take you a long time to get the finished product, but you will be so satisfied and do it. And do it all the time. Because once you do it all the time, you know the steps, you know what clicks, you know all that. So, sorry to kind of prolong this conclusion, but I just really wanted to amplify that and let people know that you don't need all this stuff. You don't need the top of the line stuff to get started. You don't need 5 other people to get one product done. You can do it all yourself. It's just about what you want and what you're willing to do to put in the time to get it done. So, yes. We finished an hour. How do you like that? Yeah. Go on to allrock.com. I got new reaction videos. Like I said, I dropped some content. We did Throwback Thursday for the reaction video. SWV right here. That's a dope video. I'm gonna listen to that song right after I get done with this. Just to uplift me. We continue to uplift each other. And remember, we're in this together. And continue to be a good human. And take care. Have the day you deserve. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.